So it's the new year, and while I think New Year's resolutions are pretty overrated and not super helpful, I do think that setting myself some challenges, just clearly stating the things that I'd like to accomplish this year is helpful. Because as filmmakers, I think we tend to get lost in projects and one project after another, after another, after another, and it's easy to just keep your head down and keep working. And so just for a second, I'd like to back up, and I've come up with 5 things that I'd like to accomplish this year, and 2 things that I think I'm not gonna worry about quite so much this year. So if you're a filmmaker, or you wanna be a filmmaker, hopefully hearing these sparks some ideas for you. So without further ado, here is the 5 things and the 2 things that I'm gonna do and not do in 2025. Number 1, this is probably the biggest and most unreasonable of all of my 5 things, but I'd like to set up my next indie movie and get it funded and ready to go, ready to rock and roll. It's called The Littlest Ghost Hunter, and it's a kind of a Super 8 meets the Goonies type, horror-ish thriller movie. There's a lot of things left to do. The fundraising is obviously the hardest part of it. We're looking to shoot this for over $500,000, so it's not chump change. And so I just wanted to get that one out of the way because it's a huge goal, and it's something that I'd like to keep pushing on. And again, these are things that I'd like to do, to challenge myself to do this year. These aren't things that I'm gonna be crying into my pillow about if they don't happen. So number 1, make another indie movie. All right, challenge number 2. I'd like to shoot more wide shots, and I'd like to shoot wider wide shots. It's something I've been telling young filmmakers for a long time, that movies are told in wide shots and super close-ups, and then TV shows like Law & Order are told in medium shots all the time. So I just like to challenge myself to step back, to look at scenes a little bit bigger. It's harder to shoot wide shots because you need a cooler location, you need more props, you need more actors, more extras. So whether it's a corporate video I'm shooting or a creative video or a music video, that's one thing I'm gonna focus on this year, is stepping back, showing those big expansive views, and seeing what I can pull off with little to no budget sometimes. That brings me to the first thing I'm not gonna do this year, and that is to worry a lot about awards. I've gotten a lot of awards over the years, and I thought these things were gonna change my life. This is the best independent movie of the year. This is a campaign online for a business. And I really thought winning these awards and it was just gonna open up so many doors. And while I think it's awesome to win awards, I think you should be grateful, but I'm just not gonna focus on it this year. It's not gonna be the thing that's gonna make or break my year. It's can I get one more laurel? Can I get one more trophy? Because I just don't think they've mattered as much as I thought they would. The third challenge is I would like to produce another very, very low budget short film. I used to do this kind of all the time back when I had a bunch of free time. And I've written a script called Airplane Mode that I really like. The hardest part about it basically is one actor, but the hardest part is that we need to build an airplane lavatory bathroom where most of the script takes place. And so that's a challenge I'm setting myself, is how can I kind of scratch that creative narrative itch but not do something where I need $500,000, right? So I kind of want to have this project going as well as the bigger project, so that I'm not stuck and I don't feel like waiting around for someone to cut me $1 million check just to make movies. Because I do think as filmmakers, we need to get back to that, as just to making movies. So if I can get that bathroom built, I'm gonna make Airplane Mode in 2025. Number 4, every month I wanna watch a movie that I don't wanna watch. Not a movie that I think is horrible or bad, but a movie that I wouldn't naturally turn to. So this could be older films that I should have watched probably if I'd gone to real film school. But this could also be movies that are just outside the genres that I normally like. I'm not a huge horror fan, and I wanna do one every month. So 12 movies this year. It doesn't seem like a lot, but I'm gonna fit them in even if I have to stay up late or get up early. Because I tend to just reach for the movies that look amazing to me and look like I would love them. So I'm gonna expand that this year. All right, the second thing that I'm gonna stop worrying quite so much about this year is perfecting every single frame of every single edit that I do. This doesn't mean that I'm gonna start phoning in edits or I'm gonna start just sending off bad work, but it does mean that I'm gonna send things faster to people, and I'm going to let myself off the hook a little bit for getting every single tiny micro thing perfect before I send it. Because I do think there's a point of diminishing returns when you're making something for a business, for a brand, for an artist, whatever it is, where it's 95% there, and if you spend double the time that you just spent, you can get it to 96 or 97%. And so I'm gonna allow myself to put out work that I think is really good, but not perfect. And that's probably the hardest thing on this list. It's something I'm not gonna do this year. Challenge number 5, this one might seem weird to you, is I'm gonna focus on working with businesses close to where I live. I travel a lot for work. I live in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, but my first project in January is in San Francisco. And I love traveling. I love working with people all over the country. But there's something about driving around here and seeing all of the businesses right around here and being like, how come I'm not working with these businesses? So I'm going to focus on building some more relationships close to home, shooting for some people who, yeah, maybe the projects aren't quite as big and quite as glamorous as flying across the country and shooting with a really large crew. But I do think there's something about giving back some value to the people around you, not talking about doing it all for free and trying to paint myself as a saint. But I would like to work with some closer to home businesses, and I think I'm going to try and do that this year. So that's all 5 plus 2. That's all 7 of these things. I'd love to hear from you as a filmmaker, what your thoughts are for this year, what you're going to try and do, what you're going to try and not do. The final one is I'm not going to freak out about AI all year long. We did that last year. It's been a thing. That's a freebie. I'm just not going to worry about it. It'll happen or it won't happen. So let me know what you're going to do this year. Thank you guys, and I hope you have a great 2025. Go make some movies.